What's up, folks? It's your buddy Fatalroadie. Tonight we're doing a Raw recap. We started off with a recap of the Royal Rumble where Brock Lesnar got eliminated by Drew McIntyre, who went on to win the Battle Royal. We now have a new commentary team set up. We now have Tom Phillips replacing Vic Joseph, along with Byron Saxton, and sadly, we still have Jerry Lawler. Dude. We started off with Drew McIntyre coming out. He gets up on the turnbuckle. Guess what he does? Gets on the microphone and says that he cannot believe that he won the Royal Rumble last night. McIntyre says he's not messing around, he's going straight after Brock Lesnar and he's going to beat him at WrestleMania. He then says he wants to have a Claymore party and he's issuing an open challenge. Gallows and Anderson then come out, both of them say they want a piece of him. McIntyre says, well, let's get a referee, let's get this going. So McIntyre versus Gallows and Anderson. This was a decent match. It had the point of putting McIntyre over. There wasn't really much offense from the OC. McIntyre delivered a pair of Claymore kicks to both Gallows and Anderson. He gets the pin. After the match, he chucks both of them out of the ring. Then Brock Lesnar comes out of nowhere, hits him with an F5, and walks off. It's around this point they announce that Edge is going to be live tonight. If we were to have a drinking game, hold on to your hats. I would also like to point out this is pretty much the end of the world because I think this is like the 4th or 5th Raw in a row that Brock Lesnar has been on the show. It's the end of the world. Everybody hide your cats. We then have Rey Mysterio versus MVP. I will say this wasn't a bad match. I would probably have to say it was kind of poor pacing. It kind of trudged on just a little bit. At one point it did look like Rey Mysterio got his head kicked off his shoulders because he was a little sluggish afterwards. It was, however, good to see two legends going at it. Rey Mysterio won after a 619 and a splash. Not the best match I've seen, but it was decent. Then we got Aleister Black versus a jobber. Squash match. Aleister Black gets on the microphone, talks about the Royal Rumble, and says that he doesn't blame anybody but himself for being eliminated. He finishes off by saying he's no longer going to wait for somebody to pick a fight with him. He's going to be taking the fight to everybody. Then we got Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy coming out to the ring. Seth Rollins talks about the Royal Rumble, runs his mouth an entirely too long time. Owens and Samoa Joe come out. Everybody then starts running their goddamn mouths. Holy shit, shut the fuck up. Because Kevin Owens was sitting there talking about, oh wow, Seth Rollins talks a lot. All y'all motherfuckers are sitting there just jabbing your goddamn lips. Shut the fuck up and get on to the match. Anyways, Owens kept saying that, you know, we're just getting set up by the AOP. They're going to come and attack us. Rollins says, no, look on the Titantron. They're in the back in my dressing room. Samoa Joe and Owens says, oh, okay, so if they're supposed to be in the dressing room, perfect. Well, this was all big setup for the Viking Raiders to come running in and attack him, I guess pretty much taking them out of the equation for the match. So pretty much after 10 minutes, we finally have our match. Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy versus Kevin Owens and Samoa Joe. Owens and Joe pretty much work over Buddy Murphy for a good bit. Rollins does get a tag in. He does mount a bit of an offense, but it was short-lived because Murphy and Rollins were back on the defense. After a commercial, Samoa Joe was taken into the back because they say he had a concussion. Kevin Owens is left to fend for himself. He gets worked over a bunch. He does try to fight back, but Buddy Murphy does the most devastating surprise roll-up and gets the pin. Bruh. Why are we always rely on the surprise roll-up? Can we just get a clean goddamn pin? Jesus Christ. It's at this point in the show we're reminded that, hey, Edge is going to be on tonight. Backstage, Becky Lynch is confident over a win at the Royal Rumble. And then we got Andrade versus Humberto Carrillo for the United States title and a Royal Rumble rematch. What? Carrillo immediately takes it to Andrade, but that's quickly turned around. There was a lot of action from Carrillo and Andrade. Humberto tried to pin, but Zelina Vega came running in and broke up the tag, causing a disqualification. This, of course, sets off Carrillo, and he straight out beats the hell out of Andrade. He pulls him out of the ring, lifts up the mat, and gives him a hammerlock DDT onto the concrete, similar to the one that he got from Andrade a couple of months ago. I don't know, could this possibly mean we're going to have a Carrillo heel turn? Don't know, we'll have to see. We then have Charlotte Flair coming out. She talks about the Royal Rumble, teases on who she's going to challenge, and then the Kabuki Warriors come out. Don't know what Asuka's saying, but it sounds like she's running down Flair. They get into the ring, they have a fight, and we have a match. Charlotte Flair versus Asuka with Kairi Sane at ringside. This is a match. We've seen it about 10,872 times. Charlotte Flair went for the figure 8. Kairi Sane got up on the top rope, gave her insane elbow to Charlotte Flair. Disqualification. Like I said, seen it. Once again, we are wasting the fucking talent of the Street Profits. They're sitting there being fucking hype men. This time we're doing with Kelly. Ooh, wow. Okay, whatever. We then have Mojo Rawley coming out with Riddick Moss. Ooh. Apparently he's Mojo's bodyguard. He issues an open challenge, which is answered by No Way Jose. This was basically a squash match. Mojo won it. A clown came running into the ring, pins Mojo, turns out to be R-Truth, but this reign is going to be short-lived because Mojo got his title back. We then have Lana versus Liv Morgan.
Oh, for God's sake.
It really wasn't much of a match. It was a match. Liv Morgan won after a flatliner. Can we then move on to the next fucking thing? Let's get this out of our system. Let's get Bobby Lashley and Rusev's bullshit with Lana out of our system. The two of them can go at it, but it's as long as Lana's not in it. Move on. Just like the Roman Reigns and King Corbin shit, just go. Go. Fucking go. Hey folks, did you know that Edge is going to be live tonight? And now it's time for the Eric Rowan Squash Fest of the week. Eric Rowan comes out with Baby Yoda. He's facing a jobber. Guess what? He beats him. I guess he had to take his frustrations out after getting tossed out by Brock Lesnar last night. And one last time, guess what? Edge is going to be live tonight. This time he's going to be next, which, yeah, he is. Edge comes out, thanks the crowd for their appreciation. He talks about his past and how he busted his ass to get back to where he was. He says he's going to be ending his career on his terms. Good on him. He talks about the Royal Rumble match and asks the crowd to join him on his ride. Then Randy Orton comes out, he hugs Edge, gives him props over their past, tells him welcome home, and then asks, what if Rated RKO gets back together? The crowd pops big time for this, but it was all a ruse because Edge ended up eating an RKO. Seriously, watch his neck. Jesus Christ, he just got back. Orton grabs a chair, smashes him over the back with it, sticks his head in between the pieces of the chair, gets up on the turnbuckle, looks like he's getting ready to jump but has second thoughts about it, runs back outside, gets a couple of more chairs, sticks one of them under his head, takes the other one and smashes him square in the head with it, leaving Edge unconscious as we end tonight's Raw. Tonight's Raw was decent. I mean, it wasn't bad. Started off on a good note. We then had a couple of matches. We kept getting drilled with, hey, Edge is going to be live tonight. No shit, Sherlock. If we were having counts over time when it was asked and you took a shot each time, we'd all be dead by now. It's good to see Edge back. I liked Edge from way back. It was really sad to see what happened to him, you know, what was it, 9-10 years ago? But hopefully he has a good career, or the rest of his career, as I'm guessing. But I'm pretty sure it's going to end around WrestleMania. We still don't know who Charlotte Flair is going to be facing. Probably after this match with Asuka. That's who she'll be. No, she ain't champion. Scratch that. Never mind.
Oops.
I'm a dumbass. But anyways, that'll do it for this episode of Raw Recap. I'll be back later this week for the SmackDown review. Leave a comment down below what you thought of tonight's Raw, what you thought about this video. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to share and subscribe. I've been Fatalroadie. You've been awesome. Thank you very much for watching. And remember, if it's too loud, you're too old. See ya.